guys, how's it going? Rather than start a new topic on a Friday, because you guys will probably forget everything we talked about by Monday, I want to take today to go over some resources that you guys can use to, to help yourself in the future. Now, you guys know I'm always here to help you guys and everything like that, but as you go through the educational process, as you guys get older, part of it is that some of the onus goes on you, and that you're going to be expected to find your own resources and stuff like that. So today I'm going to show you guys some resources that you guys can use. Of course, like I said, I'm always here. You can always ask me the questions directly. That's what I'm here for. But just in case you wanted to know, okay? So also, there are some of you guys who have a hard time navigating the website. We're going distance learning. We're going geometry. We're going to scroll down today's date. Today is April 3rd. Okay, and there's no video. This video is going to be here. Okay, so here we go. Start with a few of these websites. Math Open Reference is a really good one, particularly for geometry. If you notice, there's very small section for algebra, and then geometry, constructions, geometry, trigonometry, a little bit for calculus. It's useful. We've used it in class before. I'll give you guys an example. So we just talked about circles. So plane geometry, circles, and say we wanted to talk about the intersecting secant lengths theorem, which is something we talked about, okay? There's these little interactions that will show you, and you can change these, pretty much how these relationships work. So it is a useful tool. Also, as we get a little bit further, we're going to start to talk about constructions and things like that. We can use this. It's got some things on how to do constructions, some step-by-step things. So if we wanted to do, I don't know, midpoint of a line segment. Okay. No, let's pick one constructions. Oh, solid geometry, trigonometry, constructions. I'm sorry, this one. Perpendicular bisector. If we wanted to create a perpendicular bisector, we can go ahead and we can have it do step-by-step instructions, okay? And that will help a lot of us, because that's going to be a major challenge to do online. Hopefully we'll be back in school by then. But a lot of you guys too, if you guys have mobility issues, which is fine, you're going to have to be able to dictate to someone how to do something like this. So like I said, it's a good website, particularly for geometry. You're going to see there's other websites that we have used last year in algebra that we're really not going to talk about this year, because they are kind of specific to algebra. Okay. So anyway, that's a good one. We'll take a look at that one next week when we start doing quadrilaterals and parallelograms, things like that. The second one on here is Math is Fun. Math is Fun is such a great website, but it looks like it's for 5-year-olds. So generally people look at it and they're like, oh God, this looks like it's like little kid stuff. I believe it's British. But again, like I said, it's this very kiddie looking website. This Math is Fun, but then like if you look real close, like there's topics and calculus on it. So again, it's a good one. Again, if you pick the geometry section, plane geometry, solid geometry, you guys pretty much want to go down towards the advanced geometry stuff. Okay. But again, things we've talked about: reflection, rotation, things like that, point symmetry, coordinate planes, Pythagorean theorem, all this kind of stuff that we talk about: circle theorems, tangent secant theorems, things we've talked about. Trigonometry. This picture should look familiar to you guys because I stole it. Okay. So again, there's some really good things on here. There are some, interactive things. I think there's one for Pythagorean theorems. There's a couple different proofs on how you would do it. The 3, 4, 5 right triangle, right there. There's all these different things that you can kind of pick out and do. Okay. There's also some sample questions if you guys like multiple choice, and things like that. So you guys can use that if you'd like. Like I said, it's fairly useful. It's pretty good, and there will be other stuff on there. I like their statistics section, so we'll talk about that a little bit next year. All right, going on. Go all the way back now. 2-4. Desmos.com. Now, we haven't talked a whole lot about Desmos because we haven't been graphing a whole lot. Now, this week though, however, we did say if I said x minus 2, squared, right, plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 25. It will do, some graphing. We do some graphing this year. Like I said, it's more of an algebra tool than anything. But it's a good thing because I know not a lot of you guys have one of these handy. If you guys need to get your hands on a calculator, things like that, let me know. I'll do my best to get you one. But it is a very handy website. It is very easy to use. There is an iPad app and things like that. But we will be using it a little bit when we start talking about parallel lines and things like that, perpendicular lines on the coordinate plane, which is something we will be talking about probably in the next few weeks. So again, so we start talking about parallel lines might be useful. So like I said, it's more of an algebra tool, but it's nothing that we can totally ignore because all these subjects are becoming increasingly more interrelated the further we get into them. So, so I said Desmos.com. It's also free. There's no advertisements, which is great. Math Warehouse, another good one. Again, all different geometry properties and things like that. A little bit more adult looking than Math is Fun. But again, I encourage you guys to explore these. Here's some things we've talked about. Oh, look, parallel lines cut by a transversal. And you can take this and it'll actually tell you, will show you the relationship between all these angles. What else we got here? Vertical angles. It's vertical angles. Vertical angles. Shows you how they stay equal. And I know a lot of you guys, if you're visual learners, it's easy stuff. So next week we'll be talking a lot about parallelograms. So this will hopefully help you to clear up some of those ideas. Okay. So again, take a look at some of these stuff, mess with some of them. Just go exploring. All right. And now let's get down to the last two, which have to do with Regents exams. Guys, I don't know if the Regents is happening. I really, no idea. I think if this goes on much longer, I don't see how they can honestly give it to you guys. But we're going to see. Rob and I are still going to a workshop. We're going online to a workshop to score the social studies one. So as of right now, they're still on. I guess we'll kind of figure that out as they come. But the first one, you guys should be fairly familiar with from class because it's JMAP. We used it all last year. JMAP is a website put together by two teachers out in Brooklyn, I think. And what they do is they take all the old Regents and compile questions by topic. So those questions, like the questions I gave you guys yesterday, they said these are Regents problems. What you do to navigate this site is you're going to go down over here. You want resources by topic, geometry. Anything that ends in GEO is the modern geometry stuff. So resource, so again, you're here, scrolling down, resources by topic, geometry. Yeah, and here's all the topics we're covering, okay? So we just did circles in the coordinate plane right here, right? So we go circles in the coordinate plane. And then what do we got? These are all different coordinate plane things. We were doing circles in the coordinate plane. I choose the PDFs because you guys can write on them on the screen and things like that. And I believe that this is what we were doing. No, it's not what we were doing. We're doing different one. Quadrilateral circles in the coordinate plane. We're doing something different. Polygons. Oh, equations and circles. Sorry, equations and circles we were doing. Equations and circles. And then this is us, right? This is what we were working on, okay? So again, just to show you guys that if you go down to the ends of these sheets, like yesterday you guys did, I think 8 to 16 or something like that. The reason I picked some of these is that it will tell you question number 8, here's the answer, here's how to do it. Here is also what Regents came from. This came from the January 27 geometry Regents. That was question number 18. So if you take a look at anything that ends in GEO, like we said, is from the modern Regents. So if you saw there were a couple in there we skipped, they were from old Algebra 2 Regents and things like that. So if they're from old Algebra 2 Regents, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's a little bit more advanced than we really need to be. And sometimes I'll assign those, sometimes I won't, okay? It depends on what they are, okay? So it's a good website you guys can check out. It's multiple choice, it's open-ended questions and things like that. The other thing we can get from there is, as we get closer to the Regents, if and when this happens, if you go to Regents exams, not only can you get the old Regents exams, there's also answers. So if we went to, let's go January 2020 Regents. Okay, here's the PDF of the test, but if you go right here, it says answer, and there's a fully worked out Regents with all the answers and stuff like that. You can also find teachers doing this on YouTube, so I'm sorry, maybe I should link that as well. If you guys are on YouTube and you looked up something like, oh, I don't know, geometry Regents, January 2019. There are teachers that go through and do the whole Regents. I am not going to do this because there's other teachers doing it. I'm just going to give you me instead of whoever this guy is. Okay. If you guys really want me to do that, I will. But it's a lot of work. It's 45 minutes a pop for each one of them for you guys to get something that can already be out there. So anyway, like I said, it's worth looking up if you want to watch people go through them. If you guys are that concerned about it. The last website is the New York State Education Department, and I've linked specifically the geometry page. So these are all the Regents that they've given in this area. They've been giving this specific type of Regents for like 5 years now. So here's all the tests they've given. It's public domain because your tax money paid for it. So if you open up here, then you're going to have to open up examination. It'll give you the regular or large print version, and there's also the rating guide, the model response set. Okay. These are kind of the answer keys. So if you want the answer keys, you can pick a rating guide, and it will give you the answers for part 2, 3, and 4. I believe it gives you multiple choice answers too. Where is it? Scoring key. Sorry, scoring key PDF version, and you can look up all the answers there. Okay. I said this was the Regents section, the geometry section, because obviously if you guys go up at the top, there's all these different tests that you are either taking this year, or you may have to take. So, say for example, you go to science, chemistry, earth science, living environment, physics. You go to social studies. Now I know they're redoing the social studies one, so I'll talk to Rob about which one's the best. But again, I know you guys are taking Regents exam in global history. Okay, and here's a transition one. So I don't know which one you guys are getting. I think you guys are getting new one. I don't know if they haven't given. I think you guys are the guinea pigs, right? So anyway, so there's some exams up there. The history hasn't changed. You guys can take a look at some of those if you want. But there's also things like your English one, which I think you have to take next year. Okay, and you can take a look at all the different tests they're given. And again, it's all free. None of this costs anything. There's no ads or anything like that. So anyway, like I said, I would appreciate if you guys took today to kind of explore some of these websites and got familiar with them, because again, we're always here for you guys, stuff like that, but there has to be some level of independence as you guys get older. This has nothing to do with learning from home or anything like that. This has to do with getting older and, being more mature students and things like that. That not only do you want to be able to say, hey, Matt, what's the answer to this problem? How do I do this? But hey, how can I find this for myself when Matt's not around? If you guys are going on to higher levels of math and stuff like that, doing these things independently might not be such a bad idea. So anyway, I hope this helps. I'll put these links just right in the email. I'll put this link to this video right in the email, so you don't have to come to the page today. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. If you guys find good websites, please send them and share them, and I'll post them. So thank you guys.